My name's Nick Powers, and I'm the president and lead instructor of Warfighter Scuba. I'm a veteran of the United States Marine Corps from the years 2003 to 2007, with one combat deployment to NADTRA, Iraq in 2006. Throughout my time overseas, I experienced a lot of situations that you wouldn't necessarily find yourself in the United States. IEDs, getting shot at, rocket attacks, mortar attacks, you name it, it happened. When I got out of the Marine Corps in 2007, I tried to adjust back to civilian life, and the whole time you're in, you just can't wait to get out. And when you get out, you start to realize, did you make the right decision? 9 times out of 10, most of the guys that get out, they immediately plummet into a depression cycle because you don't have that structure anymore that the military provides you. And this hit me super hard. We moved to one of the #1 top dive destinations in the entire world, and I figured I'd start getting back into scuba diving. And after the first couple dives, I realized how peaceful it was underwater and how none of my problems followed me. You're just there in the present moment. I had the idea for Warfighter Scuba, and I kind of hinted at it, and they said, "You go for it." And that's basically how Warfighter Scuba was born. So Warfighter Scuba is a nonprofit. We're a 501c3 nonprofit with the IRS. We bring combat wounded veterans down to the Caribbean to teach them scuba diving to treat their wounds. Whether their wounds are physical or mental, such as PTSD, scuba diving is a extremely therapeutic activity for mental stressors and for physical ailments. Mentally, as soon as you go underwater, your body just reacts. It's not normal. You're not meant to breathe underwater. Automatically puts you into the present moment. You have nothing but peace and calm. This ability to separate yourself from reality really allows veterans to find out what their trigger mechanism might be for their particular mental stressors. So every veteran who comes through our programs gets a 100% funded trip. Each veteran also receives a round-trip ticket from their home of record. That ticket will bring them straight into Roatan, and their entire week stay, their hotel, their meals, their snacks, everything's paid for. So that veteran can get an entire week away from reality and completely separate from any kind of problems they might be facing at home. So each veteran receives very private and intimate training sessions when they come down to Roatan. We first start in the pool. We do some confined water skills. We'll then switch out to the open water dives. From that point on, it's not even training anymore. It's just fun. It's learning on a level that I don't think most people have experienced before. We do all the certifications for them that we can in a week at their pace, from open water to full face mask to nitrox. Every trip that we have, whether it's one veteran or 4 veterans at a time, we just have a blast. There's no bad karma. We've seen sharks, we've seen turtles. We've seen 4 eagle rays at once. Just the things that happen when we're in the water together are truly, they're just unbelievable. The dedication that these vets have now to scuba diving and to wanting to come back and to help other veterans experience what they've experienced. It hits me in the heart more than most things have ever hit me in my heart. It's truly an honor to take these heroes into the water. It's really cool to see the transformation that happens to them, from being, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. I've gone snorkeling a few times, or I'm not that good of a swimmer. And the funny thing about scuba is none of that matters. You're completely weightless in the water. You could come down and have 0 experience in the water and be one of the better scuba divers out there. So as with all nonprofits, we rely solely on generous donors such as yourselves. None of these programs could exist without people who are willing to give some of their hard-earned money up to save veterans who might be struggling with everyday life and have that unfortunate thought of suicide. 100% of every dollar that's donated goes directly to the veterans. I personally, myself, I do not take any kind of money. All my time is donated. There's no salary to anybody who's on the board or any staff positions in Warfighter. Donations can be made on our website at www.warfighterscuba.org. And remember, every donation is 100% tax deductible.
History repeats itself. History is always happening over and over again. So one of the ways to stop a theme, one of the ways to stop something from reoccurring is to first of all admit it. It didn't take long for us to quickly realize that there was power behind Mission 22, power behind its brand, power behind its message, and power behind its people that represented it.
All right, my friends, day 19 of 22, the 22-day push-up challenge. Day 19 means 418 men and women have possibly committed suicide in the last 19 days. I went and looked up my ship, the USS Rushmore. More people who have killed themselves by now than ever served on our ship at one time in just 19 days.
19, 20, 21. One more. Y'all ready for the last one?
Mission 22 has become a decentralized nationwide effort to show love, to raise money, to be available for other warriors, to be able to be a point of contact, to let the warriors know, but also for warriors to let other warriors know that there is a community. You're not alone. This isn't happening in silence. You're not forgotten. You know, we brought 4 veterans from all different parts of the United States and brought them together to hike through the state of Oregon.
May God bless you on your journey. Thank you for serving our country and for being willing to go on this walk. I'm praying you feel peace and strength with each mile.
You know, on this hike, some folks found God, some folks remained sober, some folks lost a significant amount of weight to be able to participate. And not so much just a healing walk for us as warriors, but for us to contribute to other people's healing. You know, this hike, we raised $12,000 for endobiogeny. Some of the folks on this hike, you know, they're going to be volunteers for this treatment. And I couldn't be more pleased and more proud because it was difficult. We had a lot of struggles. Not everything on this hike went pretty, you know, but we put some skin in the game. At the end of the day, we were able to raise money and we'll be able to use that money so guys can get the treatment that they need. The War at Home Monument is an example of our social impact, of our awareness, of our permanent fixture to do the work that we can't always do, to always remind us of what we've lost and what we will lose if we don't reconcile it. What we've done is taken 20 different veterans with their families' permission and used them as a silhouette to cut out of a 3,000-pound plate of steel. These warriors are placed in a V, and this is to show the size of the problem. This is to show the empty space they leave behind. And it's also to be a constant reminder of what happens when we don't listen to the stories of the warriors that fought in our name. Because it's not okay. It's not okay that everyone didn't know about veteran suicide. It's not okay that these things were a secret or left unsaid, or that it was shameful. It's not okay that it's shameful to suffer alone and suffer in silence, because if you ask for help, that you're no longer a warrior, that you're weak.
Yeah. So I come back and I thought everybody else changed. So I pushed my family away. And it took a long time to really realize it because I didn't want to look internally. I got my Class A CDL and hit the road. I was on the road for about 8 years trucking. And this makes me think about how insignificant all of the major things going on are. I mean, what, 1 million years ago, that blew up. And, over time became this.
Whether it's hiking mountains or building monuments, it takes a community to heal a warrior. Warriors didn't get damaged and didn't become separated from the sunlight of the spirit on their own. It happened in the name of this nation. We can change the way we think about war, how we think about warriors, how we think about ourselves, and what we think we're going to do in the American community. We can do it now. We can do it here. And there's going to be another generation of warriors coming. We can set the tone to create a culture that grabs them up and loves them and smothers them in resources, in opportunity, right now.
Welcome back to the stream. It is Thursday night. That means it's time for North American Dirt Track Racing Association. It all ends here tonight. We are in week 15. Garrett Zimmer, your points leader, with a stout lead over the field, 220 points. Back to second place, D.V. Runkle. Brian Lawson currently third in the points. He's 27 points behind second place Runkle. John Buckley, Austin Baker round out your top five. Again, this is week 15. This will conclude the first season for North American Dirt Track Racing Association. The cars are out on the track, getting around Williams Grove. Billy Roberts in the 99 machine, Gears Unlimited, sponsor of North American Dirt Track Racing Association, out of Kansas City area. Good looking 99 car. Garrett Zimmer in the 14 machine, also a supporter of North American Dirt Track Racing Association. You'll see his name pop up at the top right of the screen. Zimmer Gaming Products, getting around Williams Grove. This is your leader. Pretty sure all he had to do was start the race tonight, and he should go home with the championship for this first season. We are just getting settled in. If you're new to the stream, welcome aboard. If you are coming back to us, welcome back. Getting ready to get underway here. We got about 4 minutes of practice left to go. On board with the 14 machine of Zimmer, your points leader. TV, it's Joe. You got me?
Yes, sir, I do. Loud and clear.
Got D.V. Runkle that runs the North American Dirt Track Racing Association. Man, what are you looking for tonight? This is it. This concludes your first full season, correct?
Yep, this is the last race of our first season.
And it looks like Zimmer, all he has to do is start tonight, so he has a great lead on the field. Who's the one to watch at Williams Grove?
Well, we ran practice here yesterday, and I'll be honest, Lefebvre was really putting the heat on in practice. He started out slow, but everybody else's times when they were falling off, his was picking up. So I think he's the one to watch for tonight, as he has been the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, the 19 car of Ryan Lefebvre. I don't see him in the field yet. We were watching him earlier with the Coast to Coast Racing League. So hoping that he comes over and runs. He's been strong in just about anything that he's touched in the last few weeks. I'm not sure where he came from, DV, but he showed up on the scene and made a big splash.
Yeah, he has. He's really made the rest of these guys work for it. The regulars really have to work now.
So what are we looking at next season?
We have a mix of tracks next year. This year's been kind of an unbalanced season with a lot of big tracks late, so we're going to try to mix it up a little bit. Next season we were going to do Bristol, but we decided to pull back from that and run I-55 in its place instead. Still a 14-week season next year, same as this year. Stick with what works.
And are you doing any other nights other than Thursday?
Yeah, so we are doing the Magnum Race Designs Saturday Night Street Stock Super Series on Saturday night. It's going to be a 7 o'clock event. And we are going to run a R&D division for rookie and D licensed drivers in the 358. So if you want to get experience, you guys can get signed up for that as well. It's all out there. You just got to search up NADTRA in parentheses on their leagues, and you'll find all 3 of them.
What day is that second race?
The street stocks or the R&Ds?
R&D.
R&D is a Wednesday night. We run 2 hours of practice like we would normally do. Then we put the R&Ds in place, and then we do the rest of the night in practice. So we're figuring probably 7 o'clock start time for them, run for an hour or two, whatever long the event takes, and then finish out the rest of the night till 10 o'clock with practice for the regular 358s.
So if someone wants information about the North American Dirt Track Racing Association, where do they head to, DD?
You can find us on Facebook as well. You can find us on Facebook, and you can hit me up on Facebook as well. Obviously, you can get in contact with you, Joe, or any of our drivers that you see out here tonight. They can get you hooked up with us.
Yeah, great run league, man. I've greatly enjoyed watching you guys grow. It looks like the field, we have currently 11 cars counting me. Of course, I'm not running. So could really use some more drivers. Quality racing. If guys don't have setups, where would you point them to?
Oh, there's plenty of different good setup shops out there. I know Edwards does a really good Edwards race shops. They do a lot of good free budget setups and stuff like that. There's plenty of other ones out there. We were working with Intimidation Creations, but unfortunately they closed down before we were able to close out the season. I go to Edwards, and I use a lot of their setups.
I know School of Sim Racing also does some free stuff. We ran their stuff at Icon Sim Sports for a while, and it was pretty competitive setup. So this is open setup racing on Thursday nights. So do your homework. Come in and have a good time. Great group of guys. The league runs a pretty tight ship. So if you're interested, please hit one of us up and let us know. We go straight from practice into the first heat race. They are set randomly. And it looks like we got Hunter Jarrell and Garrett Zimmer, your points leader on the front row. Eddie Neal, Joseph Corns, and Anthony Morano, the fifth and final driver. Who are we watching in this one?
I'm biased. I drive for No Chance Esports, so I got to keep an eye on Garrett Zimmer, who just joined the team just after last week with his new paint that we just did up for him at Flieger Farm Paint Shop. So I gotta watch that 14. And Hunter Jarrell just asked for an EOL, so we're gonna give that to him.
So send the 80 car to the back of the field. So we're gonna have 5 cars, 4 cars being 5. How many cars are heading to the feature here, DV?
The top 5 heading to the feature.
Top 5. So all 5 cars will head to the feature tonight. They are going to be running 10 laps. This is a long feature, if I remember. Is that correct?
It was scheduled to be a long feature, but iRacing said no, so we're just going to run our standard 45.
So there you have it. We got 10-lap heat races, and we will go into a 45-lap feature to end out the first full seasons of North American Dirt Track Racing Association. Looks like the 318 car of Eddie Neal on the inside will bring the field next time by to the green flag. Restart is on green. So there are cautions in the heat races. The restarts will not be on green. Leader gets to pick inside or outside on caution restarts. So great run league. Very much enjoyed broadcasting for them. Again, you got Garrett Zimmer on the outside. He is your points leader. I think with this start, he is your champion for this year. For this season.
Yeah, nobody's touching him this season. There's nobody who's going to come close to him at all this year. I'm not racing tonight because of my wheel issues. Brian Lawson's not here tonight. Buckley's not here tonight, so he's clean. He could finish last, and he'd be fine.
He just showed up. Didn't even have to show up, I guess, right?
Not really, but Garrett's Garrett. He'll do it anyway.
Green flag is out. Zimmer to the high side gets on top. The 318 car down low. Looks like that bottom line's gonna work. Zimmer with a good run off that top side back into P2. Falls in line behind Eddie Neal. Anthony Morano behind Zimmer. You can see the track getting a slick band right around the middle. So it's going to be either a very low or high dominant, and the low line will go away, I'd imagine, early feature. Eddie Neal holding the lead. Garrett Zimmer on his tail in the 14 machine will go on board with your points leader.
You can't sleep on Eddie Neal, though. He's been fast all season long. He's had the speed.
Where's he getting caught up? Bad luck?
Well, it seems like luck. Seems like luck and getting tangled in other people's, accidents and just a general bad streak that he's had. But he's had the speed. He always qualifies and seems to run up front in the heats. He usually does fairly well on the features up until late when people start having late race accidents and then he gets caught up.
Anthony Morano, the top two, Neal and Zimmer pulling away from the field. Morano in a distant third position. Looks like Joseph Corns and Jarrell in the back are going to battle it out. 99 and the 80 car. 99 down low, 80 working that high side. Looks like the low will prevail this time by. You're not missing anything up front, although Zimmer is closing in. We are working lap 6 of 10.
Yeah, Zimmer's not the only one running that setup tonight. I believe Adam Flieger and him are sharing setups tonight. I believe they're running similar setups. We'll see if that changes anything for the 38 tonight or not.
Yeah, that'll be interesting, right?
We ran, at the end of practice, I saw car lap counts up in the 150s to 200 range. So these guys ought to be ready after running that many laps of practice.
Eddie Neal to the line, lap 7 of 10. The 318 car holding off your points leader, Zimmer. Top two again, escaping from Anthony Morano, currently running in third position. You can see Anthony running that bottom line. Seems to be the place to be early here at Williams Grove. Joseph Corns and Jarrell still going at it for P4. Neal increasing his lead over Zimmer a little bit. Not sure how hard they are running at this time. We do have one to go. Been a great heat race so far. Top two got away from the field. Anthony Morano separated himself from Corns and Jarrell running in fourth and fifth. Those two have been battling it out the whole race. But up front,
And if I know Garrett Zimmer, if there's something to win, he wants to win it. That's Garrett. He's hyper competitive like that.
Neal, Zimmer, Morano, Corns, Jarrell is your finishing order. We will move into Heat 2. We got Billy Roberts on the front row with Clay Christopherson on the outside. Adam Flieger, Dean Reynolds in row 2. Brian James rounds out your field of 10 drivers. Who you got in this one?
Well, Adam's in this field, but with all due respect to Adam, I gotta go with that 51. He was the fastest in practice.
Outside pole, Clay Christopherson. I'm going to go with the 38 here, I think, or possibly Dean Reynolds coming from the back. We shall see. Since you know more than I, we will see how that plays out.
51 just asked for an EOL because he's new to the league and he doesn't want to get in the points leader's way, so he's going to be moved to the rear.
There you have it. Clay Christopherson taking an EOL, getting out of the way of the leaders. He is new to the league, as you heard from DV. DV, thanks for joining me, man. We will see how this plays out on the broadcast. I'm hoping it turns out good. We will see.
Yeah, for sure.
99
We got a couple other things cooking up in the books too. Adam and I have been talking about running a charity division, running Pro 2 light trucks at ovals and off-road courses all together. See if anybody's interested in that. We've talked about it, but haven't decided one way or the other yet.
Well, that'd be interesting to get some different types of racing. I had a request for Friday Night Lights to run some dirt road courses, and never run them myself, but people are interested in different things, I suppose. Gears Unlimited.
We thought it would be interesting to run those Pro 2 lights. I was here earlier this afternoon testing a Pro 2 light at this very track, and I'll tell you what, truck handles really well for what it's built to do.
Yeah. 99er Billy Roberts will bring him to the green flag. Gears Unlimited driver and sponsor of NADTRA. He's got Dean Reynolds now to his outside in the 79 machine. Pace truck is off. Roberts going to bring him to the field. Adam Flieger was down low, gets back in line. We are off. 99 car with the lead. Dean Reynolds in P2. Both cars run above the slick. Adam Flieger getting in that slick stuff. 51 car moving up from the back. Clay Christopherson, as DV mentioned previously. Looks like that groove is moving up. Billy Roberts running right above that slick. Dean Reynolds decides to dive down low in the 79 car. Dino trying to make some noise, put himself in P1. Reynolds low. Roberts high. 79 car lost ground that time by. Roberts opens up almost a half-second gap over second place Reynolds. 38 car of Flieger closing in on the back of Dean Reynolds.
That is a chrome skin that Adam worked up. He calls it the silver bullet, as it says there on the top.
Yeah, cool looking cars. I'm not sure you guys bring the same car to a track 2 weeks in a row.
I know I don't. I like to keep the broadcaster on his toes. But No Chance Esports next season is running all matching patterns on their cars. So what Adam's running with that stripe and the pointed stripe down the side, and I believe Zimmer's running that tonight as well. That's going to be the standard paint pattern for next season.
New team on the scene. No Chance Esports, you said?
Yes, sir. No Chance Esports.
No Chance Esports. Up front, Billy Roberts in the 99 machine has led from flag to flag so far. Dean Reynolds in the 79 was able to close back up on Roberts. Dean Reynolds trying to dive down low.
Adam's under attack right now by the 51 as well, just like Roberts is under attack by Dean. Dean's in the wall down the front stretch. That put him back. I think that's going to give Billy Roberts this one. The question is now, can Dean hold off Flieger in the 51?
Working lap 7 of 10. You're hearing the battle going on. Roberts with a over over a second gap over Dean Reynolds, currently running second in the 79 car. Adam Flieger in the 38. Clay Christopherson, he took an EOL, battled back on the tail of Adam Flieger in the 38 machine. Looks like Christopherson's the only car trying that bottom line. We'll see how that does for him. We're working lap 9 of 10. We do have 2 to go here.
Closest battle on the track now is between Flieger and Christopherson on that 51 and the 38 there. Adam slides up. Whoa, 51, dive it back down to the inside. Coming down the front stretch, Adam with the advantage going into turn 1.
51 car slides out wide. Looks like he lost his momentum on the 38 car. This is the last lap. Up front, Billy Roberts leading the way. Dean Reynolds in second. Adam Flieger and Clay Christopherson, the best battle of the race. Those 5 cars will be heading to your feature. Great run by those fellas. We will go into 5 minutes of warm-up, so we will be back.
The goal at any given race is, of course, to win. And CrowdStrike, AWS, and DXDT were fortunate to achieve championship-winning results in 2020. We're extremely proud to be partnering with Operation Motorsport through our racing initiatives. Their program seeks to place military veterans in various positions inside a real racing team. The experience aids in their retraining, recovery, and rehabilitation.
So my name is Chad Failing. I'm a staff sergeant retired out of the United States Army. I am with Kevin Boehm under DXDT. You're getting creative. You're getting taught to think outside of the box.
We couldn't be more proud to be affiliated with this great program. In the spirit of giving back to the community and creating meaningful opportunities, we are committed to building a diverse motorsports platform with the amazing men and women who have served our country.
When people hear a Till Valhalla project, the first thing they might think of is our shirts. But what most people don't know is that our plaques came first and the t-shirts came second. What some people might not know is that the same shirts that we make day in and day out allowed us to do unbelievable things for unbelievable people. Whether it's donating our proceeds to reduce veteran suicide or gifting handcrafted memorial plaques to the families of fallen heroes, these t-shirts simply stand for honor and freedom. 2 words that wouldn't exist without our heroes. This makes Till Valhalla Project a place our fallen heroes truly live on forever.
They say it's a matter of time, 1,000 days and the sun won't shine before I come back to you. For your love I will go far, I wanna be wherever you are. I know I'm coming back for you.
Brother, it's good to see you.
Our love is a river long, the best ride in a million wrongs. I know I'm coming back to you. And I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. can stop me. I'm making my way home. I'm making my way.
Welcome back to Williams Grove. We are just completing warm-ups. We've got about 30 seconds left. We will get into a 45-lap feature. I anticipate the track to change during the feature, so we'll get a little better view, maybe open up some lines of racing. Billy Roberts, the 99 car, picking up where he left off in the heat race, running your quick time in this warm-up with a 21.174. Eddie Neal, Zimmer, Morano, and Reynolds round out your top 5 in warm-ups. And it is feature time here at Williams Grove, the final race of the season for NADTRA. Eddie Neal, Billy Roberts on the front row. Garrett Zimmer, Dean Reynolds in row 2. Anthony Morano, Adam Flieger in 3. Corns Christopherson in 4. Jarrell James in the 5th and final row. Should be a great feature. Again, we're running 45 laps. DV, who do you got?
Well, you know, Morano's been fast the past few weeks, but so is Roberts. Eddie Neal, I think this is the first time he started on the front row, so I'm going to take Eddie Neal in that 318.
DV calls the 318. The winner of heat number 1, Billy Roberts on the outside in the 99 machine, is the winner of heat number 2. Your points leader in row 2, starting P3 in the 14 car, Garrett Zimmer, is about to take home a championship tonight. To his outside, the 79 car of Dean Reynolds. This should be exciting. Clay Christopherson, don't forget about the 51 car. DV said he's been quick all week. We will see how it plays out. But up front,
Here tonight was Ryan Lefebvre, but he didn't show up for some reason or another. But he was fastest in practice. I was really disappointed to see that he didn't show up.
319 car of Eddie Neal will bring him to the green flag. The initial start is on green. Lights are off on the pace truck. We got one more time around. We will be under the green flag next time by. Adam Flieger in the 38 machine. Good looking ride tonight in a chrome paint scheme.
Yep, that's the silver bullet, as he calls it.
Catch up with him throughout the race. Can't see him through the crowd. Up front, Eddie Neal in the 318 car will bring us to the green flag. The pace truck is off. Green flag is out as Eddie Neal's down low. Roberts up high. Track is getting pretty slick. Roberts will most likely have the advantage off that top side, and he does. Eddie Neal falls back to P2. Dean Reynolds in 3rd. Morano in 4th. Flieger gets into the back of Morano. Brings out our first caution of the night.
And it looks like there was some shucking and jiving going on in the back of the field, and Adam just got, I don't know if Morano checked up, but Adam just tagged him, set him around.
Not hard to do in these cars. Eddie Neal will get his position back at the front of the field. Billy Roberts back to 2nd. Eddie Neal back to the point. Billy Roberts to his outside. Pace truck should exit this time by. Pace truck is off. 318 is getting ready for the drop of the green flag. Roberts to his outside. Roberts got a good run on that outside last time. Green flag is out. We are off. They are wheel to wheel at the line. Looks like they make a little bit of contact. That might open up a space for the 318. He thought about going wide, and he does. Looks like we had some contact in the back of the field.
Yeah, I believe the Joe Corns machine slid up and tagged the 51, and Joe went around. I'm going to go back and look at that just to be sure. Yeah, it looks like the 51 dove to the bottom, and the 99 just tapped him. They made contact.
Eddie Neal. Looks like Billy Roberts may start from the point this time by, unless Neal selected.
So we just called an audible with after that really bad start from iRacing. We're gonna have the leader start the race on the restart.
There you go. You're hearing it from the race control. The leader is going to start the race. So the field does belong to Eddie Neal in the 318 car. We do have one more time around, it looks like. Working lap 3 of 30 or 45, my apologies. So we have a long way to go. Patience could pay off in this one. Billy Roberts on the inside, Neal on the outside. Garrett Zimmer in the 14 machine, still tucked in behind Roberts in P3. Dean Reynolds to his outside in the 79 machine. Talked about Clay Christopherson early. The 51 car has moved up a couple positions. Pace truck is off. Green flag is out. Looks like Billy Roberts gets a good jump on the field. Zimmer dives down low in the 14 machine. Got Dean Reynolds to his outside in the 79. Leaves your points leader a little bit of space, not much. Looks like Dino hit the wall there a little bit. I don't know who that is beside Dean Reynolds. Clay Christopherson in the 51 machine having a great run. Brand new to the league. Midwest driver. Welcome to the league, Clay. Joseph Corns in the 99 machine, running in 6th position.
Garrett Zimmer's getting into his groove out there on that high side. That's where he was running in practice real fast. Him and Dean have been going at it. Tight battle between those four right there, between the 318, the 14, the 79, and the 51.
Like Dean Reynolds almost anticipated taking that 3 wide that time by. Looks like 51 car is the only one running that low line currently. Billy Roberts opened up over almost a second gap over second place Eddie Neal. Well, we got a well of a battle behind them for P2, 3, 4. Zimmer throws it in, sideways, slides up, almost makes contact with the 318 car, but does not. Falls in line with Dean Reynolds on his tail. Clay Christopherson continuing his great run in the 51 machine. Joseph Corns in the 99 machine battling it out with Brian James for P6.
Seems like the guys are really starting to settle in now and find their groove.
Yeah, it took them a few laps, I suppose, to get settled in, DV, find out where they wanted to run. Eddie Neal in the 318 car with Garrett Zimmer right behind him, nose to tail. Dean Reynolds still in 4th position. 51 car of Clay Christopherson getting a little bit racy. Take a look back at Christopherson from the 79 car of Dean Reynolds. You can hear him working the throttle in the corners here, getting really slick. It's only going to get worse. Working lap 10 of 45. Looks like Christopherson gets a good run, DV, into turn 1 and 2, where he's making up ground.
Yeah, Clay's going after Dean, Dean's going after Garrett, and Garrett's going after Neal, and they're all chasing Billy Roberts.
Roberts with almost a second gap over second place Eddie Neal. It looks like your top 5 have kind of settled things out. It was a hornet's nest for a while. It's a bit back to 6th place runner Brian James, who got by Corns. Christopherson still trying that low line.
He keeps trying it. Eventually it'll work, because that bottom I expect to come in later in this race.
Everyone knows to tail up high. Adam Flieger battling it out with Anthony Morano.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm really surprised that Anthony is as far back in the field, as he is. I figured him to be more up front given the past few weeks of running than he's done with us.
Did he go in and get repairs after that first caution, DV?
No, I'm not sure. I don't think he did.
Wonder if that's having an effect on that car on the track.
Well, these guys are giving him 2 quick repairs, and his right side is still banged up pretty bad, so I don't think he took his quick repair.
Billy Roberts up front by almost just under a second. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Running nose to tail, keeping each other in close contact. Looks like the 14 car of Zimmer may be pulling away from Dean Reynolds a little bit. Pulls up on the tail of the 318 car of Neal. Your points leader is not going to settle for just the championship. He wants another win. Good look at the 14 car from that front end. Good close racing.
Gotta be careful with that slide job. Ooh, oh, he almost caught the 318 there. That's gonna stack up 3rd, 4th. Reshuffle everybody. Make sure nobody gets tangled up there going down the backstretch. Billy Roberts still way out front.
Over a second now, DV, almost 1.1 seconds. It's like Garrett Zimmer lost a little bit of his momentum in that attempted slider. Now he falls back in the grasp of Dean Reynolds in the 79 machine. Brian James might be making up some ground on the field. James up to 6th position, up 4 from the start in the 55 machine. All your leaders are nose to tail. Zimmer looks like he's closing back in on the 3 car. Roberts extends his lead to 1.3 seconds. Eddie Neal in second. Zimmer, Reynolds, Christopherson round out your top 5. They are nose to tail. Brian James in 6th. Looks like Morano's getting racy. Adam Flieger and Morano giving it a run in the back. Morano trying that low side. Flieger up against the fence. Tight exit by the 32 car of Morano. Morano keeps it down low. Gets a good run off that bottom side off of turn 2.
Garrett tried to slider again and going into 3, and it just did not work. He's trying them sliders, and they're just not sticking tonight. That track is just too slick for that tonight. At least right now, as far as right now is concerned.
So you know him better than I. So your points leader with you surprised he's still racing this hard?
No, like I said earlier, Garrett's one of those guys that if there's a chance for him to win something, he's going to go for it.
A typical racer, right? 51 car now goes down low. He's going to give the bottom. Christopherson running that bottom line, seeing if he can't finally make something work. Goes back down to the bottom.
In practice.
It looks like he did make it work. He pulls up wheel to wheel with Zimmer in 3rd position. 51 car making some hay down low.
The question is, how long will it last, and can he keep making it stick there with Dean Reynolds working a high side? Because Dean is pretty sharp on that high side tack.
Looks like he's getting a pretty decent run off of 4. Not so much off of turn 2. Looks like there isn't as much drive.
I noticed Neal ran the bottom in that corner too. Maybe he saw the 51 run to the bottom, and maybe he's thinking there might be something down there, but nobody else seems to be able to run down there besides that 51 of Clay.
I see the 32 car back there running down low. Looked like he got into a tire. Adam Flieger behind him. Brian James in front of him in the 55. 32 car now making some moves up the field. Christopherson up to P3 running that low line. Let's see if he can hold it. Off of turn 4. Back in line behind points leader Zimmer. Zimmer right on the tail of the 318.
Handed to me from our pit staff that Hunter Jarrell has pulled it back to the hauler. He is done for the night.
Hunter Jarrell out of the race on lap 28 of 45.
He said to me before this race that this is like his worst track. So he was just here to collect up whatever points he could get for tonight.
Christopherson, this is a great battle running down low underneath your points leader Zimmer. Comes off, and it is nose to nose at the line. Zimmer with a slide job attempt once again. Can't make that work.
That 51 is hooked up pretty good on the bottom. I see him picking up that left front tire. I think he's hooked up pretty good there on the bottom. That bottom's coming to him.
Put Christopherson, he was at the line in front of Zimmer, I believe.
Brian James just got in the wall in the back stretch. He had to check up. Flieger's underneath him. Flieger is loose and around. That's going to bring it. Oh, no, he saved it. He saved it. It's back underway, so we're going to stay green.
Adam Flieger having some issues in the back of the field. Not sure what happened. Billy Roberts out front by over 2 seconds now, in front of Eddie Neal in the 318 car. Garrett Zimmer holds P3. Garrett Zimmer still trying that bottom side. Looks like it's DV. It looks like it's about equal with the outside right now. I anticipate possibly the bottom could come in if he's the only one that runs down there.
Yeah, definitely the bottom is slowly starting to come in. As obviously you saw him pass Dean Reynolds there, and he's working on the 14 of Zimmer. As more of the guys run the top side and start to wear that top side out, that bottom will start to be the preferred line, I imagine, going into the late stages.
51 car changes up, runs to the outside, your points leader Zimmer. Down low, he tries the bottom. Zimmer is able to hold off the 51 car, so those two swapped high and low. 32 car all of a sudden in the picture. You spoke about the 32 earlier, DV. Here he comes.
He's cooking his way through the fields and start on that last restart, starting at the back. Slowly, quietly reeling in the leaders. We'll see if he has anything for him here as we're coming down to the, let's see, lap 35 we're on right now. We got about 10 to go.
Billy Roberts way out front in the Gears Unlimited 99 machine. Got a 2.2 second gap over Eddie Neal.
Yeah, I gotta give a big shout out to Billy Roberts and Gears Unlimited. You know, them coming on board with the league has really gave us the ability to expand to our street stocks and to our R&Ds as well. And in Garrett Zimmer, if Zimmer Productions hadn't Zimmer Productions hadn't come on, you know, early in the season, we wouldn't have made 8 weeks. We were that close on finances. We would not have made 8 weeks of our 14 weeks we had scheduled. So those two guys, really big shout out to them. They've pretty much saved this league and kept it running. And thanks to you, Joe, as well, for putting the time in for the broadcast and everything.
There you have it. And as running a league myself with a few great guys, it is tough to do it on just one person's wallet. So sponsors make a world of difference in what we have going on. If you're out there, you're interested in sponsoring NADTRA, please get a hold of Adam Flieger or DV Runkle. Let them know you'd like to sponsor. They'll find a space for you. Love to see your logo here on the broadcast. Looks like
and you can see all of our next season schedules. We have races, sponsorship options available for those. They're listed right there on the Facebook page. We just put them up, I believe it was yesterday or the day before. So if you're interested, hit us up. We have no problem. We work with anybody's budget for sponsorship, so we're flexible on our sponsorship prices.
There you have it. New business starting out. You want your logo on the broadcast? Get a hold of DV. Let them know on their Facebook page. They will make that happen for you. It looks like the 32 car, Morano getting back into it just past the 79 of Dean Reynolds. Morano up to P5.
That bottom work. He saw the 51 down there make it work on Dean Reynolds, and he's going to try it himself now.
$14 trying to run a little lower than the 318 car. Wasn't quite a slide job, but looks like he may have thought about it that time by. Loses a little ground to the 318 car of Neal. Neal able to open up a little bit of gap over Zimmer. We'll go on board with the 51 car. See how slick the track's getting. Working the throttle, working the steering wheel. A lot going on here at Williams Grove.
And Billy Roberts, it is the Billy Roberts show tonight. He is just checked out from start. On that last restart, he just checked out. And it's waitress check, please, for Billy Roberts. Unless something major happens. I just saw the 51 put a slide job on Garrett Zimmer. Zimmer had to check up, got into him a little bit, and here comes Anthony Morano.
So your final podium position now belongs to Clay Christopherson in the 51 machine. We are working lap 44 of 45, so we're coming down to it.
Yeah, he threw that slide job on Garrett, and Garrett just touched the back of him, had to tap the brake, and that opened the door now. If Morano can get some good laps here in his last lap, we'll see if he can pick up that last position or not.
Last lap, Roberts, Neal, Christopherson, Zimmer. 32 car of Anthony Morano's not giving up. He wants a top 4 finish. Billy Roberts coming to the line. 99 car is your winner. Eddie Neal, Clay Christopherson, Anthony Morano closes in, gets Zimmer right at the finish for P4. Garrett Zimmer, your points leader, finishes P5, and your champion of the first season, the 14 car and sponsor, Garrett Zimmer. We'll get a word with your podium finishers here momentarily.
Garrett trying to do some donuts on the front stretch. He's very narrow front stretches here. As soon as he's done celebrating. It was a great run tonight. It was a great show. Those second on back really was just a great show tonight.
There's your finishing order on the screen. We will pause it to get rid of that sound. I'm not sure who Loud Pedal is. There's Garrett Zimmer. Trying to get the drivers up to the interview.
Yep, I'm working trying to get
Who's
the gentleman
Loud
up
Pedal?
in there. Loud Pedal is Clay.
That's the one we need to talk to. Ladies and gentlemen, newcomer to the league, the 51 car of Clay Christopherson. You requested an EOL early, and you started the feature kind of in the back. You gained 5 positions, most in all the field. How'd you get around the track, man, and how did you find your way to the front?
Mainly just ran the bottom for a while. Nobody else was down there. There wasn't much drive off, but I know if somebody messed up high, since they were all on a train, that I would at least get a chunk of them. And I think I passed 1 or 2 at a time and one time. And then, I just ran the bottom. And then after I knew it wasn't really going anywhere, I hopped up on the high side and kind of joined the train. And I knew I had to do a slide job to get past Garrett.
Yeah, last real close to the end, you did slide up there in the 51 car. How many weeks have you raced with the league?
With this league here?
Yeah.
None. This is my first time showing up.
First time showing up, man. You shouldn't have requested an EOL. You were fast all night. How did the track change? You said the bottom was there and then went away.
No, the bottom wasn't fully there yet, but I was just trying to work it a little bit. I didn't want to join the train up high in 8th position. I wanted to run the bottom for a little bit, let everyone mess up top that were running the train or try sliding jobbing each other, just stay out of caution, stay out of wrecks. But towards the end, I was going to run the bottom again, but I was running pretty consistent up top. I just had to get around a couple guys, and I'm usually not one to do slide jobs. I like passing by speed, but I was getting impatient and running out of laps, so I had to do something.
Yeah, man, great decision by you at that moment to put you on the podium. You got anybody you'd like to thank for your finish?
Anthony helped me out with the setup. Me and him were putzing around with it practice day, and then we were BSing back and forth, and he's the one that got me into this league. So thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, man, you made an impact instantly. Great job by you. So next season, we look forward to seeing you out in the 51 car, and greatly appreciate you coming out, man.
Yeah, I'll be here. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the 51 car of Clay Christopherson. The 1 car of Eddie Neal, or the 318, if you may. Eddie, it's Joe. You got me?
I think so.
I think you do, man. I can hear you. Hey, great run. You started on the pole. It looks like Roberts got that high side was where it was early, and it looks like you got behind the 99 car, and he kind of pulled away. How did the track change throughout the night?
It was pretty good at the beginning, but then it kind of started to slick off, and it was pretty much one lane the rest of the race. I mean, if you got out of that groove, as Garrett and I were talking. There wasn't much passing after that unless you tried something crazy, and none of us are going to do anything really stupid.
Yeah, it looked like the bottom started coming in late. Did you ever consider diving down and giving the bottom a go?
I snuck down there, tried to once or twice, and it seemed like I lost my momentum. So I'm like, well, I don't have room to give up. So I just went back up to the top.
Yeah, man, great finish by you in the 318 or the one car. What?
It's 318 actually. That's my mother-in-law passed away when she was very young age, and that was her birthday. So that's kind of the number I've been trying to go with.
Man, that's super cool. Super cool. You got anybody you'd like to thank for your run tonight?
Well, Gears Unlimited, number one. Billy sponsors the car, and then also L&K Hardwoods out of Kansas City, Missouri as well.
Great. Are you from Kansas City area?
Originally I was, and then I kind of had about a 15-year stint up in Nebraska, and now I'm actually in Texas. So that's where we're at. Yeah.
I'm ex-military, so I know all about moving around. Great run by you, Eddie, and end of the season. So we start anew coming up, so it'll be a new ball game. So great run by you, my friend. Great race.
Appreciate it. Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, the 99 car of Billy Roberts starts outside pole, takes the lead actually on lap number one, drives the 99 car to over a 2-second gap over the field at one point. Billy, this is Joe. You got me?
I got you, Joe.
Man, great run, brothers. They didn't have anything for you tonight. It looks like you found a groove. Some of those cars behind you did find a low groove, but man, you did not waver off of your line. What'd you find up there, and did you ever think about changing your line?
I did not think about changing my line. I was stuck to the cushion.
Yeah, and that seemed to work for you, brother. Do you think well, shoot, I can't even say who had something for you with a 2-second gap. Great run by you, man. Way to end the season. So we got a brand new season coming up. So we look for the 99 car at the top of the board next season. You got anybody you'd like to thank for your run?
Man, I do. I got the House of Speed for their setups. They're great. My buddy Eddie that finished second for getting me in all this. And for you guys, Joe, especially you, this broadcast is pretty cool, and I'm really happy to be a part of it next year and this year too. And DV for putting this on, and I do think Garrett had something for us if he could have got around Eddie, but we just got out to enough lead. I think that we got to hold on.
Yeah, there you have it. Billy Roberts jumps onto the iRacing scene, makes a big splash. You see Gears Unlimited at the top left of NADTRA. You will also see it at the top left of Friday Night Lights. So greatly appreciate your support, brother. This stuff doesn't happen without folks like you that are willing to chip in and help out. So that's greatly appreciated on behalf of DV and myself. Greatly appreciated, man.
We appreciate you, Joe, and guys have a good night.
You too, man. Have a good night. There you have it. Billy Roberts starts on outside pole, puts her on the point in lap one, does not look back, had a 2-second gap at one time. And big night for the 14 car. Garrett Zimmer, this is Joe. You got me?
Hi, Joe. How are you?
Man, I am super well, man. You didn't even have to show up tonight. DV and I were talking during the broadcast. I was asking DV, how hard do you think Garrett will run? And DV made the statement, if you think you can win something, you're going to run it, man. So great run by you. You ran up front. What happened when you fell back to fifth?
Yeah, so I was running. Eddie basically was kind of holding up like 3 cars behind him. I think there was about 3 of us that were a little bit faster than Eddie running second, and just kind of diced it up with him. And then next thing you know, I was trying to drive him clean, not throw any too many hard sliders there. And then next thing you know, I got slid and then drove a little too hard into the last corner, and then got passed by Anthony there for 4th, so I ended up 5th.
So how do you feel about being the first season of NADTRA champion? That's got to feel pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Like to thank No Chance Motor Esports for bringing me on board. The guys are a lot of fun to chat with and run races with, getting the cars set up. Sportsman's Alliance, great to have on the car as well. Big advocate for conservation, for wildlife. Glad to have them aboard. I do appreciate the inaugural season here. I think it's just getting started for the team, and I'd like to thank you, Joe. You do an amazing job with the broadcasts, Friday Night Lights, and then covering the NADTRA Dirt Car Series on Thursday nights. Love to keep having you do it. Watching your streams is always great.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear, man. Love doing it for you guys. Great group of guys, man. And hopefully you get in DV's wallet here for something super special cool for the inaugural championship for NADTRA. I know I see Gears Unlimited up here. He ran good. And I see your logo there flash on the top right-hand side. So I'm sure DV's got something in store for you. Great run, man. Can't wait to see next season and how that pans out. And you're right, the numbers will just climb. Great group of guys. DV, do you have anything you want to close with?
Just if anybody wants to join for season 2, you can find us out on the iRacing leagues under the NADTRA. Put that in there, and in parentheses, you'll find all of our leagues. Next season is going to be starting mid to late July. We are going to be running races this off season. A couple of open invitationals and 3 charity events, so keep an eye out for those. I'll be posting them up in the Facebook pages as well, on the iRacing Facebook pages. And congrats to Billy and congrats to Garrett on his season championship.
Yeah, and DV, we need to pick a wider track for next year's championship so the guys can do a good burnout.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Garrett was having a problem with the burnouts. Trying to celebrate.
The car, not the track, right? But great win by Billy tonight and a championship for Zimmer. That's really cool to see. So that's it for us, ladies and gentlemen. As always on Got Your Six Racing Network, we are racing for awareness of veterans issues. You've seen us play veteran promos throughout the night. 22 veterans a day take their own lives, which is totally unacceptable. So we're trying to do our small part and give back to companies or organizations like Mission 22. If you know a veteran out there, you haven't heard from him in a while, give them a call. You never know what those folks have going on. Just checking on them could save a life. So greatly appreciate you tuning in, man. It's super proud to be a part of this NADTRA family. So again, if you want to join, get a hold of DV on their Facebook page. You can get a hold of me. You can get a hold of anybody. Thank you all for tuning in. Great inaugural season, and we will see you next time.
Was that a complicated thing to set up, Joe?
Hold on a second.
I'm Chris Jakomick, and I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Throughout my military career, I spent the bulk of my career out in Las Vegas. It was the first job I had as I was protecting some sensitive resources out there at Nellis. I would deploy to Kuwait early on in my military career with a larger weaponry system to support Operation Southern Watch. And then from 2003 to 2006, I was part of the emerging drone mission for the United States Air Force and Department of Defense. We were fighting the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan from our backyard. You'd be in war for 12 hours of your shift, and then you'd drive home to your apartment here in Nevada. So psychologically, it was very odd. Like, you felt you were in the combat zone every day because you were seeing it on the screens and it was that important. But I don't know what it did to the human psyche at the time. Some things would kind of happen in my personal life after that would change a lot. When Adam joined the Marine Corps, it was a natural fit. Anybody who joins the military, especially after 9/11 happened, you're looking for that purpose. I think that's why he made the choice. It's like, let me go be a Marine. He was in between Fallujah and Ramadi during the heaviest parts of the fighting of the Iraq conflict. I mean, you hear guys like Jocko and everything talk about like the triangle of death. My brother was dead set in the middle of the triangle of death with a Marine unit. I think it changed him. Like, you look at everything across history, you read any of the books out there, war changes anybody that's been involved with it. Trauma or mass events like that changes anybody, and it really changed my brother. And I get that call. I get the text, actually, from my stepmom. It's like, you need to call me as soon as possible. Something's wrong with Adam. All right. Didn't think anything of it. And I'm about to pull off the highway to go celebrate and have some pizza with my classmates, and she's like, Adam's dead. Adam's dead. He had died by suicide that day, 25th of July, 2017. And it changed my world forever.
I think that was the first time I saw or heard someone broken through the phone. There was a time where I was concerned that he wasn't going to make it. There were times I thought, we're going to have to camp out outside of his house, or we might get that phone call. Are we ready for that phone call?
I couldn't catch a break. A fellow first sergeant I served with, he had died by suicide. On the day of my buddy's funeral, I'm going through social media, and I see this, what appears to be a manifesto from one of my old airmen. My first thought was like, today's not going to be a good day. And sadly, my hunch was right. He had killed his own family and taken his own life on the day of my buddy's funeral. It was just compounding trauma after trauma after trauma. I cracked. I fell hard with alcohol. That was rock bottom. I first heard about Mission 22 just by like surfing the internet and looking on there and seeing some of the programs that they had available. I was like, something seems right about this. To be in a program like the R&R program with them and the innovative things that they're putting together, I've not seen in any other veteran nonprofit. It's putting all this stuff together to heal in the most effective way possible. They're making you do a lot of the hard work through reading, through audiobooks, through physical fitness, through nutrition, open discussion, critical thinking, neuroplasticity and cognitive feedback to where you're developing the brain more. It's given me a chance to regain my life. Cycling's been a big part of my recovery. Is around the time I retired, a little over a year ago, I set forth, I was like, let me set this goal to ride 2,020 miles in 2020 for another veteran nonprofit that supports Gold Star families and those lost either to accident or to suicide. Every time I got on that bike, I was like, you know what? There's a name, there's a dash that I'm gonna honor today. Not the dates on the gravestone. It's like, I'm gonna honor that life. So it gave me purpose. And it just became like a release for me to where the pedals would spin and I would get out of my head for a little bit. Physically, I was starting to feel better. I could see the improvements, and I've tracked my data over the past year, and it's phenomenal on the growth that I've had on a bike.
He's just on a mission and is relentless about it. Every day he pushes it from the loss of his brother and a number of different trauma that he had gone through in his life. It was absolutely critical for him to find something that he could sink his teeth into. I think he's taken the ball and run with it with Mission 22, especially the R&R, the recovery and resilience part. I think it makes him stronger in the person that he is today.
I don't know why I fell on the bike. It was just like, okay, it called to me, and then I kept going. So that scene from Forrest Gump where he just starts running one day and it ends up in Monument Valley in Utah? He's like, I'm tired, I think I'll go home now. I'm not tired yet. I'm not ready to throw the towel in like Forrest Gump did. I'm getting on that bike and I'm keeping on going because there's something about it. There's something about just getting out in nature, having that breeze in your face and seeing some of the beautiful landscape here in Las Vegas where it takes you away from the stressors and the challenges of the world for a little bit. And you can just appreciate the beauty that is out there and be in the moment. And then it got serious because the Air Force enrolled me in the Air Force Wounded Warrior program and it got transformed into Lo and Behold training. if I do this well, maybe I can go represent the Air Force. Maybe my grief and everything in my entire story can come to fruition because I can put the energy into something positive. If I made the team, I'd just be overwhelmed with emotion. I suffered a lot of my trauma because of my military service, but at the end, it's like, I gotta be grateful that I'm allowed to compete in this because there are others who didn't make it home or lost the war at home that's what it's about.
Oh my gosh, everybody. I am so excited. My heart's pumping. My hands are sweaty. Please welcome our very own Director of the Air Force Wounded Warrior Program, Colonel Rich Obert. Over to you, sir.
Welcome, warriors and athletes. Today we're going to announce the 2021 Air Force Team for Warrior Games. The selection was difficult as there were many hardworking and deserving individuals, and the work and dedication was apparent by all. I know the suspense is killing you, so I'll turn it back over to Marcia. Good luck to each of you. Back to you, Marcia.
All right, thank you, sir. Starting us out from Air Education and Training Command, Major Daniel, Lieutenant Dan Cariña. Yes, yes, yes. Air Combat Command, out of Texas, Master Sergeant Nicole Nikki Favuza. From Valdosta, Georgia, Technical Sergeant retired Antonio Del Vecchio. From East Liberty, Ohio, Airman retired Pete Murphy. Technical Sergeant retired Margie Hinkle. And coming up next, former pole vaulter, that is very similar to Blaze Velarde, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada, Master Sergeant retired Chris Jack Jackamek. Warrior Games competitor back on the team, Staff Sergeant retired Joseph Alex Pate.
Whew.
What? He did
All right.
big things back in the day. He's gonna do big things.
Oh,
Coming to you from St. Henry.
wow. We look at Mission 22 and we see all the shirts, we see all the flags out there. I don't think enough of the people understand how big the programs actually are and how that is actually in there. And like, I'm a benefactor from the donations of these private donors that are there to allow me to live life, to improve life for not only myself, but for friends, for fellow veterans, for my children, for my girlfriend, for my family, is to be that, to say, you know what? We can keep going at the end of the day. We can keep going, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how difficult life becomes, we can keep going.
We have this value in the Air Force, this belief, a wingman concept. We're gonna take care of each other. We've got each other. And it gives us hope, right? And so if you have been knocked down, I say this a lot, by the baseball bat of life, right? You're on the ground. If you know that someone's got you, it's got your six, no matter what, that's gonna help you get back up again. And that's part of Mission 22, I think, for him. That connection, that human connection, that's what's gonna save us. Yeah, that's what saved him. He can be a light in darkness. No matter how dark that spiral is, to know that someone got back up again and navigated their way out, that they can get through it too, that they are not alone. Not for one moment of one day. That's what he could be. He could be a beacon of light.